Welcome to Belgium for round 5 of the 2019 Michelin Le Mans Cup. Here we enter into a key phase of the titles battle, and perhaps some of those could be won right here at the fabulous track of Spa-Francorchamps. Let's take a look.
After the summer break, you need to get up to speed, you need to get up to these corners.
It's old school, it's got some kind of element of danger, it's got some proper history.
This is my first time here and it's just a wonderful track. I'm trying to learn it as quick as I can.
So it's not easy, very challenging. The first couple of laps you think, okay, oh my God.
I've never had a favorite track before until I've driven here, and it is just amazing. It's now my favorite track.
It's absolutely amazing, so yeah, I love it here.
It's just incredible to be here, so fantastic.
The number 71 Lusic Racing Ferrari leads the number 8 Kessel Racing machine by only 7 points in the championship. Both teams have shared all the victories this season, with 3 for Lusic and 2 for Kessel.
Now we have the pit handicap, so we need to figure out how many cars can come between us or can come in front of both of us. We are crossing our fingers for doing a nice event here at Spa. It's going to be very interesting to see how the points are going to be. We really need every single point, so it's going to be really important to try to get all the points we can, also in the qualifying.
Spa, it's a very demanding racetrack, and especially for gentlemen like I am at the end, it's not that easy. The gap in comparison to the pro drivers is getting bigger and bigger. We are expecting to have at least the Aston Martin very competitive here in Spa. For sure we will do the race on the other Ferrari with the goal to arrive ahead of them and to keep the championship open until Portimao.
I'm playing golf tournaments as a professional with a senior circuit because I'm quite old and I'm running the racing team. Hard life. A pole position. I'm a bit crazy. I'm changing quite often. My last car was a Ferrari GTC4 Lusso, so I just sold it and I've ordered a Porsche. I finished runner-up in the World Championship in motorcycle back in the 80s. I've got screws in the wrist and in the shoulder and the knees. It was quite dangerous at the time, so I'm quite lucky. I really love my Yamaha T-Max. It's a big scooter, I mean, really practical. I don't know, let's say 7. I love the car from the 60s, 70s. Driving-wise, I mean, I think that the prototype LMP3 is really exciting. It's beautiful. I mean, the area, the scenery is beautiful. It's challenging, fast and technical. I did Le Mans, man. Unfortunately, I couldn't do the race because my co-driver crashed the car after 2 hours. So I would say do 24 of Le Mans again.
wins in a row, DKR Engineering's number 3 team sits 17 points clear at the top of the championship with 2 races remaining. Over the past few seasons, the team from Luxembourg has been very competitive in Spa, with a win in 2017 and 3rd place in 2018.
They are just not far away from there, so we were already there in March in order to test, but that's the only test we have done there. With the P3, just an amazing track. With the 2 last wins, we are confident. We just want to win on Saturday and then to win the championship.
Second in the championship points, the number 25 car from Lannon Racing. And they're back on track after a disappointing weekend in Barcelona, where a crash forced them to withdraw from the event before the race.
We have a new car under there. Looks the same, but it's completely new. It's been a huge pleasure this year against the DKR guys, the Graf guys, the Nielsen guys, United are here obviously as well. It's been, for the most part, hugely enjoyable. So, yeah, that's why we're back, to enjoy the track with those guys again. Spa track is well known for being drivers' favourites with good reason. And the P3 car particularly, it's an astonishing track. Downforce the cars generate makes some of the famous corners truly eye-opening. As a bronze driver, if you're within 2 seconds of a pro round here, you've done a really good effort. This track shows the differences between the drivers slightly more for sure.
The Michelin Le Mans Cup welcomed H24 racing in free practice, the LMP-H2G making its track debut in a race environment.
For
the last year, we've worked really hard on getting the car approved. It was a long job working with the FIA and the ACO, but now we have the opportunity to run with other cars.
Aujourd'hui, on a cette possibilité de rouler avec d'autres véhicules en piste. Aujourd'hui,
Today's the launch of Total's hydrogen refueling station, a world premiere. The collaboration makes sense for us. Total Group wants to become a responsible major energy provider, and particularly regarding the ACO aims of sustainable motorsport development. So today the car's mixing with the Michelin Le Mans Cup pack, comparing itself against LMP3 and GT3.
You're joining me down on the grid where we're preparing to get round 5 of the Michelin Le Mans Cup underway. In LMP3, it was championship leader Francois Kierman who was fastest, giving the 3rd pole of the season for DKR Engineering. In GT3, it was Fabien Laverne who was quickest, with the 3rd pole of the season for Luzic Racing. We're all set here at Spa. Let's go racing.
Conditions absolutely perfect at Spa. Francois Kierman paces the field in the number 3 Norma. 4th on the grid, Michael Benham, 2nd in the standings. Red lights stay on, green we go racing. Francois Kierman has the lead. Eric Triot from the outside of the front row comes down to try and cover off teammate Adrian Schieler in the other Graf car. Michael Benham keeps his nose clean. Out wide goes Triot, and trouble at the hairpin. 74, that's Cool Racing's Maurice Smith. 43 gets away from inside him, Kia Racing's Alain Costa. And leaders already piling down the hill into Eau Rouge. Up to 4th place is Nielsen's Tony Wells. Stays ahead of Eric Triot, who's now just ahead of the number 11 machine of Nico Melin. Climbing the long Kemmel Straight, lead trio trying to break away. Nielsen bridging the gap, with Triot in 5th position leading the next pack of cars. And along this long queue at the back is Kessel Racing's number 8 Ferrari. The GT3 leader is in 10th place overall and harassing the LMP3 cars in front of him. It's a great start. Let's take a look at the start and watch Eric Triot, front row right-hand side, comes to his right to try and shut off teammate Adrian Schieler, who qualified ahead of him, and either contact or cold tyres sent him out wide. Alain Costa then clatters into the back of Maurice Smith. Marco Sanatini in the Krypton Motorsport Mercedes ahead of the red Ferrari Spirit of Race's Christoph Ulrich. He's being pressured by Andrea Piccini. And as they go by the Mercedes, Piccini in the 60 Kessel Racing car still piling the pressure on. Andrew Howard running wide in the Beach Dean Aston, kicks up the dirt, loses the place he just gained. And up at the bus stop, here comes Andrea Piccini, dive bombs Christoph Ulrich. Through he goes up into second place. Now the name that is missing here is 71. Lucic Racing, the pole-sitting Ferrari. And that's because Fabien Laverne is creeping back with a left front puncture. Fast work in the pits, changing that tyre. They will have lost a lap on the field already. Chance of taking the championship here in Spa may be gone. Adrian Sheila hanging on to second place ahead of Michael Benham, who gets in too hot and spins the Lannon car. And through goes half the field. Disaster for Michael Benham and Lannon Racing. Michael Benham now behind Marcello Marattiotto, the other DKR car, number 5, and a spin again. He tried to avoid running into the back of number 5. Behind the Spirit of Race Ferrari, battle in the Mercedes, Roberto Pampanini for Scuderia Villorba course, just ahead of Dexter Muller in the SPS Automotive Performance car. And the number 7, Pampanini, runs out a little wide. Dexter Muller goes straight through. Andrew Howard in the Beach Dean Aston right behind them, trying to recover the ground that he lost, running off wide a couple of laps earlier. Second, third and fourth coming up to the top of the Kemmel Straight. Adrian Sheila leading the battle as Eric Thuillier tries to take third off Tony Wells at Les Combes. Little bit of a rub there, but they both survive just as well. Thuillier doesn't need a penalty there, and Wells doesn't need to be spun out. Up to the bus stop, Eric Thuillier sends it deep on the inside. Tony Wells too late, trying to shut the door, but the move is made. Graf Racing are now second and third. Sergio Pinazzola in the Kessel Racing Ferrari leading GT3, and look at this, flashing the headlights to the LMP3 cars. Come on guys, get out of the way. We've got a championship to try and close down here. Number 8 car leading the race comfortably after a great qualifying run. Francois Kierman leading the championship with the number 3 DKR car leading the race and running away from the Allgraf battle for second. As that changes hands, Eric Thuillier now ahead of Adrian Sheila. So they're in the positions in which they started the race now. Not in fourth place yet, though, is Michael Benham. However, dives down the inside of Mark Cradar, the Grain Market Racing car. That's for 12th. Team 98, Eric de Donker and Marcello Marattiotto. Here's the AT Racing car, Alexander Talkanitsa Jr. going by Tony Wells. Straight past him there for 5th position. Talkanitsa Jr. working his way up the order. The AT Racing car started 8th. And trouble behind for Marco Zanartini. The Krypton Motorsport Mercedes nudges off into the barriers. Michael Benham chasing Rob Hodes, the 23 United Autosports car. He got a great slingshot on him. Straight by. Sergio Pinazzola in the background in the Kessel Racing Ferrari leading GT3. So that is the Lannon car up to 9th place. And more trouble. Michael Benham having another go at the chicane. And this time just chasing the throttle too enthusiastically behind the number 4 Cool Racing car. Spins again. Well, this is a new car for the Lannon Racing crew. Looks the same, but I wonder if it's catching out Michael Benham or whether he is just frustrated and pushing too hard. Back past the Grain Market car again. And again, running out wide. Needs to calm his nerves a little. Michael Benham can feel the championship being pulled away from them, though. Now here's a move on the United car at the bus stop, and trouble again, and Benham only just avoids a collision. This is not going at all well. It's a real horror story for Michael Benham.
Black and white flag, car 25 for driving in a dangerous way. He's not controlling the car.
So Benham will have to stop and hand over the car to his teammates. Question is, how much more driving will he be allowed to do? He's got to do the minimum for a driver of his grading. They may need to appeal to the stewards. Adrian Sheila in the Graf car behind a 71 Lucic Ferrari that runs out wide, and Graf under pressure from Nielsen. That's Tony Wells closing in behind for 5th. And unfortunately Sheila went the wrong way round the Ferrari and then the wrong way round the chicane. Well, has gained a material advantage by going off track, but that doesn't help the Nielsen car of Tony Wells. He's now got to get by the delayed Lucic car before he can rejoin battle for 5th place with Adrian Sheila. Battle for 3rd in GT3. There's Andrew Howard showing his nose in the Beechstein Aston Martin behind the SPS Mercedes of Dexter Muller. Maurice Smith trailing smoke. That's the corner he was hit on right at the start in the Cool Racing 74 car. Looks like he may be about to lose a tyre. It's a long way back to the pits from here, and that tyre is not going to last long. Maurice Smith slowing right down now at Lecombe.
We're under safety car. Leaders, slow down. Leaders, slow down. We have a lot of debris, speed 45. Leaders, slow down, please. We are under safety car.
That debris on the Exeter Radion up the Kemmel straight, and it looks as though it's the rear end of somebody's car, bits flying off everywhere. And I wonder if that is all from the Cool Racing 74 car. Well, there's the damage on the back of Maurice Smith's car. It got hit at the start, looks like it's been coming apart ever since. And I think that's the end of the race. Yes, there's Maurice Smith out of the car, out of the race. Safety car coming in this lap, but is it pit stop time? It's very nearly an hour to go. Now, do you give up track position or do you try and take a end of the safety car sequence pit stop? Let's see who breaks for the pits. Who goes in? Everybody. Oh, not everybody. Eric Twio from 2nd place. The Graf team sending the 39 car round, and that allows Adrian Sheila to be first to Graf's pit as he comes in from what was 4th position. No one around DKR at the moment. That's good news for them. It is a very busy pit lane, and it might not be a bad idea for the number 9 car to go around again. Adrian Sheila hands over to Nico Schatz. The 39 car. Here is number 9, and Eric Trier must make this lap count. Can't afford to lose control on tyres that are probably cold from behind the safety car. He must make it work for him. He's gone a completely different way for everybody else. Giacomo Piccini has taken over the number 8 Kessel Racing Ferrari from Sergio Pianazzola. So they remain the GT3 leaders. And they remain stuck in amongst the LMP3 cars as well. Number 25, Duncan Tappy, challenging Garrett Grist, United Autosports for 6th position. The safety car worked well for Lannon Racing. And Tappy now starting to move up the order. How far can Lannon go? Leader leaving the pits, that's the number 9 car. Eric Thuyer handing it over to Son Adjian, but they've dropped down to 13th place now.
Drive-through penalty car 54 for improving under yellow flags.
Penalty for the SPS Automotive Mercedes. Trouble for Johan Jokinen, Kia Racing. This is the car that hit Maurice Smith in the very first corner.
Full course yellow. We are under full course yellow. Green. Track is back to green.
Everybody off the speed limiter, back up to full speed again after running round in the full course yellow. Ross Gunn in the Aston Martin chasing down the Kessel Racing Ferrari of Giacomo Piccini. Young factory star Ross Gunn shares with Andrew Howard. Howard, as ever, cautious in the opening stint. But now Ross Gunn looking to take the lead. Kessel Racing really need to win this, with Lucic having that puncture at the beginning. Every point will make a big difference in the season finale in Portimao. Wheel-to-wheel racing, Michele Rugolo and Nicolas Rondet. That's brave stuff. That's the battle for 8th position, but wheel-to-wheel for any place into Eau Rouge. That's great stuff. Nicolas Rondet this time can't hold off Michele Rugolo at La Source. That's a slightly calmer place to get by. Fantastic battle between the duo though. Two different teams, both wheel-to-wheel. Lawrence Hoare for DKR Engineering, the race leader. This is an unexpected stop. He has a stop and go penalty. He and the 23 car for spinning the wheels, exiting the pit lane. Dino Lunardi and Alex Mortimer. This is the battle for 5th position. Grain Market car under pressure from Lunardi. The Ferrari team watching the action. Ross Gunn now closing right up on Giacomo Piccini. Kessel Racing Ferrari in the sights of the Aston Martin driver. And Ross Gunn keeping the pressure on. Breathing hard in the Beechstein garage. And Ross Gunn creeping ever closer. Exiting La Source, drifting out wide, Lawrence Hoare for DKR Engineering. But he is closed up on Colin Noble in the Nielsen number 2 machine. All over the back of the Nielsen car. Heading into the final 15 minutes of the race. Michele Ruggelu continuing to pile the pressure on Alex Mortimer for 6th position. Late send up the inside. And through he goes. That was a good pass, well judged and well controlled. Battle for 2nd place. Colin Noble for Nielsen, car number 2. And drifting out very wide indeed. Lawrence Hoare for DKR. He'll have filth all over the tyres. He kept the momentum up but kept the car under control. But he has dropped back a fraction. Ross Gunn has dropped back a fraction from the tail of the Kessel Racing Ferrari of Giacomo Piccini as well. The Beechstein Aston still 2nd, 1.29 back, but he can't quite get close enough. Battle for 2nd place. Again, Lawrence Hoare is right there on the back of Colin Noble's Nielsen entry as they go by the Lusic Racing Ferrari. Is this going to change inside the final 10 minutes or inside the final 10 seconds? Hard to tell. Perfect conditions, but still lots of pressure for those podium spots. The checkered flag awaits. The 39 Graf Racing entry started by Adrian Sheila, now with Nico Schatz at the wheel, is going to be first to get there. It's going to be win number 2 of the season in the Michelin Le Mans Cup for the 39 Graf Racing entry. And behind them, a battle to the line, Nielsen and DKR. In GT3, Kessel Racing, 13th overall, claim a vital win in the GT battle ahead of the Beechstein Aston. Our 3rd win of the season for the number 8 Kessel car. Graf claiming LMP3 victory ahead of Nielsen and DKR. Despite their mistakes, Lannon ending up in 4th. Motorsport 98 finishing 5th at home. 13th overall, the GT3 winners. Kessel Racing's number 8 ahead of Beechstein and a 51 Spiritor race. Lusic in 6th position with their 71 machine. Well, the race didn't end with the checkered flag. Unfortunately, in LMP3, there was more drama. In post-race scrutineering, the crash box fixing screws on the 39 Graf, 2 Nielsen and 3 DKR cars weren't in compliance. They were all disqualified, meaning the winners were Lannon Racing with the number 25 car. So our podium finishers in trouble, and Lannon Racing back to the top of the points with 1 race to go. DKR and Nielsen are 2nd and 3rd, and Graf in 4th.
Normally, my teammate does the biggest part of the job and give me the car with a lot of advantage, but due to the penalization and the safety car, the race was tough. The Aston had an amazing pace. Gunn was really pushing, but I managed to be concentrate. Probably the best win we've had this year.
Giacomo Piccini and Sergio Pianazzola for Kessel Racing on the top step of the podium. 2nd, Andrew Howden, Ross Gunn for Beechstein Aston. Christoph Ulrich and Maurizio Mediani finishing 3rd in the Spiritor Race Ferrari. And that means that the GT3 championship lead has changed as well. Kessel Racing with a 9-point lead over Lusic Racing before the final round at Portimao in October. All the other leading contenders are out of the GT3 title race. So GT3 and LMP3 will both be 2-horse races in Portimao. The 2020 Michelin Le Mans Cup calendar has been confirmed with the 6 circuits that hosted us in 2019, with the test and the first round in Barcelona before heading to Italy's Cathedral of Speed and then the road to Le Mans. From Le Castellet through Spa-Francorchamps to the roller coaster finale in Portimao, that's how it looks for 2020.